Welcome to Flash Lesson 4. And so this lesson we're going to put together the shapes of the cat to help build it out and combine it and make a animation character. So we're going to go to File, Open, navigate to Lesson 4, Start. File, Open, and I'm going to go to, let's see, the student work files. CS5, week 1, 4, lesson 4 start, and click open. And now I'm going to, let's see, so we're going to look for the cats. And we're going to combine some of these shapes and put them together. So I'm going to first lock the trace layer so that I don't get into that layer, and I'm going to unlock my artwork layer. And then I'm going to just select the head of the cat, and then bring it over and lay it on top of the body. Actually, I'm going to wait for the head for just a minute because I would like to just create a little neck area there for it. So I'm going to select the tail, and I would like to show you how to transform the tail. There's a tool called the Free Transform tool that is right here in this section, and when you click it, you'll see a bounding box appear with these little handlebars on it. If you move your cursor slightly over the handlebar, you'll see a rotate cursor, and it's off and away from the corner handle, and you'll see your cursor turn into a rotate cursor. Then you can just click and drag, and you can rotate the tail like that. You see this little circle in the middle, that marks the center of rotation. So if I accidentally pull this little circle out, when I rotate, I'll be rotating around that circle. So I want to make sure that that circle stays inside of my tail area. Now I can also resize this by moving the cursor directly over one of these corners. I can push it in and pull it out. But then to move it, I can just grab it where some of that text area is and just put the tail on the cat. And then I'll grab the legs, and I'll put the legs over the cat. And then I'll grab another leg. And you can copy this by going to Edit, Copy, Edit, Paste, or Paste in Center. And while it's still selected, just move it over. And then I will grab this one, double click it to get the whole thing, and I can rotate this one and move it into a position. And so now if I just wanted to create a few lines here for the neck, I can drag some neck lines down into it. And I'm seeing that these necklines are coming in as drawing objects. So I'm going to just go to Modify and break this one apart, and then I'm going to go select this drawing object and go to Modify, Break Apart, because I want the whole thing to be embedded together. Because what I want to show you is that you can select each of these little pieces with the selection tool, and you can clean this drawing up by just clicking. You can get rid of each of these little pieces that you don't want. So I'm clicking around and cleaning up the extra pieces inside of the cat. And now I have a cat image right there. I guess I could put in an extra back leg if I want to, and work this a little bit differently. I can pull this out, try to reshape it. Something is stuck there. That's what I wanted there. So anyway, now if I want to fill the cat, I can get the fill tool and I can fill it with whatever the fill color is. But I'm going to go back just a minute, take this color out, because I want to show you that sometimes the fill tool doesn't fill the way you expect it. I was lucky that time and it did. But sometimes it helps when you're in the fill tool, in the paint bucket tool, it's also called, is if you go down to where it says gap size and close large gaps, that will help the fill tool to fill. When you're clicking in the area that you want to fill and you don't get a fill color, go to this section right here, close large gaps, and that will help you. Then if you want to change the stroke style, what you do is you select your stroke, double click the whole stroke to select the whole thing. You can go over here and select the stroke size like I showed you before. But if you want to select, change the style, you can choose dotted, dashed, rugged, stippled, hatched. You can choose these different stroke styles. So now I have a fuzzy cat. Then, if you're going to work with the color panel actually is, it's a panel. You can find it by window, and then you can go to color, or you can also find it, it's tabbed over here in this section. If I open up my color panel, I can use this section to change different colors. And then I can get my fill tool and refill my cat with the new color that I've chosen. And also I can fill with a solid color or a linear gradient or a radial gradient. So just for the fun of it, I'm going to choose linear gradient. And I've got a gradient here that's from dark, goes from dark to light. And I can click using my paintbrush tool and fill my cat with a gradient if I want to. But when you go in here and you choose your gradients, you can also change the colors that are inside of your gradients by clicking these little tiny icons at the bottom corner of the gradient bar. And that, you can't see it, it's off my screen. But you can choose from your color picker and you can make your own gradients very easily. So I'm going to go back to my tools bar and I'm going to fill my cat with my new gradient. And you can have fun playing around with that. And so that's the end of the lesson.